Was he James Bond? Porfirio Rubirosa, a name that echoes through the corridors of history, an enigmatic figure who transcended the boundaries of mystery, seduction, and adventure. While some may draw comparisons to the iconic James Bond, Rubirosa was no figment of imagination. His life, so extraordinary and multifaceted, weaves a tapestry of tales that would challenge even the depths of a cinematic masterpiece. He defied societal expectations, ascending to unimaginable heights of wealth and prominence. His path would lead him to the dazzling echelons of society, where he effortlessly mingled with world leaders and graced the silver screen alongside iconic movie stars. But what truly set Rubirosa apart was his unparalleled charisma and charm, an aura that could captivate and hypnotize all those in his presence. The magnetism of this extraordinary figure was so potent that women, lured by his irresistible allure, willingly risked everything, even betraying their own husbands, for the chance of a single night in his enchanting company. Prepare yourself for an odyssey through the captivating tapestry of Porfirio Rubirosa's life. An odyssey filled with grandeur, passion, and the undeniable allure of a man who forever changed the course of history. Welcome to the extraordinary world of Porfirio Rubirosa. Born in the Dominican Republic in 1909, Porfirio Rubirosa Ariza entered the world as the youngest member of a small family. However, at a tender age of 6, his life took a significant turn when his father, Pedro Rubirosa, embarked on a diplomatic career that led the family to Paris, France. It was in the vibrant city of Paris that Porfirio would begin to shape his extraordinary path. Porfirio admired his father immensely, captivated by his commanding presence, successful public life, and impeccable sense of style. But there was another aspect of Pedro Rubirosa's life that left a lasting impression on young Porfirio: his ability to captivate women. Observing his father's womanizing ways, Porfirio saw a quality worth emulating, a skill that held the potential to open doors and shape destinies. However, while Pedro Rubirosa balanced his love for women with an unyielding work ethic, Porfirio displayed a different inclination. He was an unabashed pleasure seeker who preferred to embrace the allure of life rather than succumb to the confines of labor. With an innate magnetism that masked his aversion to work, Porfirio embarked on a journey where his charisma would become his greatest asset. In the early years, the seeds of Porfirio Rubirosa's irresistible charm were sown, setting the stage for the remarkable life that lay ahead. At the age of 17, Porfirio Rubirosa made his return to the Dominican Republic, following in his father's footsteps by joining the army. Through dedication and skill, he swiftly ascended through the ranks, earning the prestigious title of captain. However, his talents extended beyond military prowess, as he also found success in the nation's polo team, solidifying his reputation as a versatile and accomplished individual. During a pivotal polo match, Rubirosa found himself face-to-face with the formidable dictator, Rafael Trujillo. Armed with his natural charm and charisma, Rubirosa made an indelible impression on the hardened leader, earning a personal invitation to Trujillo's inner sanctum. The following morning, Rubirosa discovered the rewards of his initial encounter. Trujillo extended a generous offer that was too enticing to refuse: the esteemed position of lieutenant in his presidential guard. Little did Rubirosa know that this new role would offer more than just duty and responsibility. His first assignment involved receiving the dictator's 17-year-old daughter, Flor de Oro, upon her return from France. Caught off guard by Flor de Oro's captivating beauty, Rubirosa's weakness for stunning women became apparent. Initiating a conversation in French and exuding his irresistible presence, he secured an invitation to a ball at the presidential palace. However, Rubirosa's interest in Trujillo's daughter did not stop at mere conversation. At the ball, Rubirosa seized the opportunity to dance with Flor de Oro for every number, defying social etiquette and drawing attention to their connection. This audacious behavior did not go unnoticed for long, and it incited the wrath of his employer. Rubirosa's dalliance with Flor de Oro had severe consequences. His actions not only jeopardized his career prospects but also led to his decommissioning. To avoid Trujillo's fury, he sought refuge at his family's coffee plantation, where he languished in boredom and uncertainty. After 8 agonizing days, Rubirosa received a clandestine message from his beloved. They arranged to meet in secret at a photo booth, shielded from prying eyes. This meeting became a turning point in their relationship, as Flor de Oro proposed to Rubirosa, leading to their marriage in 1932. Through his union with Trujillo's daughter, Rubirosa managed to regain favor and salvage his career as a diplomat. However, his true passions lay beyond the confines of his work. In cities like Berlin and Paris, he indulged in the irresistible allure of beautiful women, succumbing to the temptations that surrounded him. His nights in Paris often ended in debauchery, with disheveled appearances and traces of lipstick. After 6 years of infidelity and ill-treatment, Rubirosa's marriage ultimately ended in divorce, a result of the consequences incurred by his actions. After his divorce and the repercussions of his relationship with Trujillo's daughter, Rubirosa found himself unable to return to his homeland, fearing the wrath of the powerful dictator. Cut off from his wife's financial support, he embarked on a new venture that would have unexpected philanthropic consequences, selling Dominican visas to Jewish individuals seeking refuge from war-torn Europe. Although driven by self-interest, this enterprise would lead to a significant impact on the lives of many. However, Rubirosa's money-making endeavors were not always guided by noble intentions. At times, he engaged in questionable practices that veered into the realm of shadiness. One such instance involved a deal he made with a jeweler, agreeing to use his diplomatic passport to retrieve a valuable inventory left behind in Spain during the Civil War. Upon Rubirosa's return from Madrid, a glaring issue arose: $180,000 was missing from the inventory. His explanation painted a picture of a harrowing ordeal, claiming that he had been ambushed and shot at, resulting in the money being forcibly taken from him. Yet, inconsistencies plagued his story, with no evidence of bullet holes in his car, raising doubts about the veracity of his account. Rubirosa's involvement in questionable dealings demonstrated a darker side to his character, where personal gain sometimes outweighed ethical considerations. This episode serves as a reminder that his life was not only defined by charm and charisma but also by shades of grey and moral ambiguity. To repair his relationship with Trujillo, Rubirosa agreed to serve as his tour guide during a visit to Paris. At the iconic Eiffel Tower, Trujillo's lecherous gaze fell upon a young girl selling postcards. Eager to please his ex-father-in-law, Rubirosa facilitated an encounter, escorting them into an elevator for privacy. Grateful for Rubirosa's discretion, Trujillo not only welcomed him back into his favor but also bestowed upon him a new title, commercial attaché to France. However, as Rubirosa found solace in mending his relationship with one powerful figure, another threat lurked on the horizon. In 1942, the challenges of World War II tested Rubirosa's resilience. With his views conflicting with the German regime, the Vichy government interned him for 5 months in a German hotel. Fortuitously, he had the support of a beautiful woman by his side, the renowned French actress, Danielle Darrieux, with whom he was deeply in love. In a remarkable turn of events, Darrieux secured Rubirosa's release by agreeing to a promotional stay in Berlin. With a taste of freedom and dreams of marriage, Rubirosa and Darrieux faced an arduous and perilous path. Following his release, they exchanged vows, but their honeymoon phase was short-lived. Darrieux's sympathies to the German regime attracted aggression, and in 1944, the couple was ambushed in Paris on their way home from a nightclub. Vulnerable in an open car, they became targets for their assailants. In an act of astounding heroism, Rubirosa shielded his wife's body with his own, enduring 3 gunshot wounds near his kidneys. Their survival became paramount, prompting their escape from the perilous city. With no other recourse, the couple went into hiding, seeking refuge on Darrieux's French farm during the remaining months of the occupation. In this unlikely setting, Rubirosa acquired farming skills, tending to cows, pigs, and sheep. Yet, their safety remained tenuous, narrowly evading capture on one occasion by seeking sanctuary in a friend's barn until the retreating Germans allowed them to slip away. Rubirosa and Darrieux endured tremendous hardships together, their bond tested by shared trauma. But would these trials prove to be the foundation of their enduring love, or would their journey take an unexpected turn? Under the influence of Danielle Darrieux, Rubirosa delved into the world of cinema, where he encountered a myriad of eligible women. One such encounter took place when journalist Doris Duke interviewed Darrieux in Rome, with Rubirosa by her side. In this meeting, a spark ignited between Rubirosa and Duke, setting off a chain of events fueled by Duke's determination to possess him. Utilizing her vast wealth, Duke attempted to sway the tide in her favor. Allegedly, Duke offered Darrieux a staggering sum of $1 million to divorce Rubirosa, triggering the collapse of their once promising marriage. In the blink of an eye, Rubirosa moved on to his next venture. In 1947, a mere year after their initial encounter, Rubirosa and Duke hastily decided to tie the knot. As they stood on the threshold of their wedding ceremony, Duke's lawyers arrived with a prenuptial agreement for Rubirosa to sign. Intoxicated and elated, Rubirosa indulged in copious amounts of alcohol, succumbing to a blissful delirium. His life of opulence beckoned. Marriage to one of the world's wealthiest women came with its advantages. No longer were ordinary, cliched presents in store for Rubirosa. Instead, he found himself bestowed with sports cars, polo ponies, and astonishingly, even a B-25 bomber. Immersed in unimaginable luxury, it seemed that Rubirosa's trajectory could only ascend. However, the thrill of his jet-set lifestyle would soon encounter a precipitous decline. Duke expected Rubirosa's unwavering availability, while he sought the freedom to pursue his own desires. Before long, Duke caught him in the act with his former wife, Flor de Oro. As a consequence of the prenuptial agreement hastily signed on his wedding day, Rubirosa received a modest 17th-century house in Paris and a meager $25,000 annual alimony, with the condition that it would cease upon his remarriage. Rubirosa's affinity for breaking the rules simply did not align with the pressures of monogamy. He needed to chart a new course to replenish his coffers and maintain his lavish lifestyle. Rubirosa embraced the title of a playboy and considered it his profession. Leisure was his top priority, and he proclaimed that he simply didn't have time to work. His pursuit of women surpassed all else, and he successfully wooed high-profile celebrities such as Ava Gardner, Rita Hayworth, and Veronica Lake. He saw women as his full-time job and knew all the tricks to capture their attention and affection. Rubirosa understood that women desired undivided attention, and he mastered the art of maintaining eye contact and actively listening to their wants and needs. His ability to engage women in conversation and make them feel special was his superpower, and he used it to his advantage. But his prowess extended beyond conversation and into the bedroom, where his rumored large endowment became a subject of fascination and desire among his female contemporaries. Whispers about his size and constant state of erection earned him the nickname toujours prêt, meaning always ready. He commanded attention wherever he went and was described as a Don Juan who charmed people from all walks of life. Rubirosa's romantic connections spanned Hollywood actresses, singers, and political figures, creating ample fodder for gossip magazines. He associated with the Kennedys until rumors of mafia ties emerged, though the extent of those associations remains uncertain. Rubirosa embodied the epitome of machismo, admired by men who aspired to his style and charisma. However, his popularity also sparked jealousy among those who couldn't match his allure. While he excelled in the realm of social popularity, achieving victory in cutthroat competitions proved to be a different challenge altogether. The seductive pursuit of Zsa Zsa Gabor. All women were potential objects of desire for Rubirosa, even those who were already spoken for, including the wives and girlfriends of his polo and race car driving peers. His charm and charisma led to numerous divorce cases, with Rubirosa named as a co-respondent for his alleged affairs. One of the married women who fell under his spell was the renowned actress and socialite, Zsa Zsa Gabor. Their encounter took place in 1953 at New York's Plaza Hotel, and it left Gabor astounded by Rubirosa's grand gesture. After some initial conversation, Zsa Zsa Gabor retired to her suite for a nap, completely unaware of the surprise awaiting her. Upon waking, she found herself surrounded by a room adorned with an abundance of flowers. A note, personally penned by Rubirosa, accompanied the floral display, proclaiming her as the most beautiful of women. This first impression left an indelible mark on Gabor, and it didn't take long for Rubirosa to intensify his pursuit, showering her with lavish gifts, persistent phone calls, and unyielding attention. Yet, beneath this fervent courtship, lurked a possessive and controlling nature that Rubirosa was all too accustomed to indulging. As Jar Jar Gabor's husband eventually initiated divorce proceedings, Rubirosa saw an opportunity to solidify their relationship. He presented her with a marriage ultimatum, convinced that she would succumb to his desires. However, Gabor, torn between her passion for Rubirosa and her lingering love for her husband, grappled with conflicting emotions, a sentiment that Rubirosa was ill-prepared to accept. In 1953, as Rubirosa's financial situation began to dwindle, he caught the attention of American heiress Barbara Hutton, one of the wealthiest women in the world. Despite Hutton's advanced age of 40 and her fading beauty, her vast wealth made her an enticing prospect for Rubirosa. Additionally, Hutton held a long-standing rivalry with Rubirosa's ex-wife, Doris Duke, and marrying him would be the ultimate act of revenge. For both Rubirosa and Hutton, the union offered mutual benefits, and they agreed to marry. However, the circumstances surrounding their marriage were far from ideal. Hutton was teetering on the edge of a mental collapse, and Rubirosa's lack of empathy only exacerbated the shaky foundation of their relationship. Even Jar Jar Gabor, Rubirosa's former flame, had little faith in the marriage, predicting its demise within 6 months. As they embarked on their honeymoon, the cracks in their union were already apparent. Desperate to please Rubirosa, Hutton showered him with extravagant gifts, including a coffee plantation, a multitude of suits, polo ponies, an airplane, and a staggering $2.5 million in cash. She spent a staggering amount of $66,000 on him each day, hoping to secure his happiness. However, none of it could alleviate Rubirosa's deep-seated dissatisfaction. His restless nature and aversion to domesticity made him perpetually unhappy, regardless of the wealth surrounding him. As time went on, it became increasingly evident that the marriage was a disappointment for both Rubirosa and Hutton. After a mere 2 weeks, Hutton left Rubirosa's side and sought refuge with her aunt, effectively deserting her new husband. The marriage swiftly unraveled, coming to a complete implosion after a mere 53 days. Rubirosa was ill-suited to fulfill Hutton's needs as a husband, and he longed to return to his carefree bachelor lifestyle, eagerly anticipating the end of his tumultuous union. Despite its brevity, the marriage proved lucrative for Rubirosa, as he profited significantly from their financial arrangements. In 1956, at the age of 47, Rubirosa found himself captivated by the charm and beauty of Odile Rodin, an aspiring teenage actress and model. From the moment he laid eyes on her, he knew he was in love. Despite the significant age difference, Rubirosa was drawn to Rodin's youthful vitality and a certain air of mystery that surrounded her. However, winning her affections proved to be more challenging than he anticipated. Rodin's mother initially forbade her daughter from entertaining Rubirosa's advances, sensing potential danger. But her opinion swiftly changed after witnessing the undeniable chemistry between Rodin and Rubirosa during a single slow dance. From that moment on, they couldn't resist each other's embrace. Rubirosa fell deeply in love with Rodin and her zest for life. She shared his enthusiasm for the all-night party scene and the vibrant company it offered. What intrigued Rubirosa the most was Rodin's ability to exert a unique magnetism over him, one that no woman had ever possessed. For the first time in his life, he felt that he couldn't control her, admitting, "All my life I've controlled women. Every woman I've ever met, except this one. She is under my skin." Just 5 months after their first meeting, Rubirosa and Rodin exchanged vows in October 1956. However, despite his apparent surrender to love, Rubirosa couldn't resist seeking ways to exert control over his new wife. Taking on the role of a mentor, Rubirosa embarked on molding Rodin's image to his liking, reminiscent of Pygmalion. He desired her to resemble Grace Kelly rather than Zsa Zsa Gabor. From the amount of hairspray in her hair to her choice of conservative dresses, Rubirosa made his preferences known. However, Rodin asserted her independence by refusing to wear any underwear, a small act of resistance against his control. Beyond his quest for spousal control, Rubirosa demonstrated meticulous attention to his own grooming and physical well-being. His style was impeccable, carefully selecting each attire, right down to his monogrammed boxer shorts. He valued his skin, protecting it with honey treatments and minimizing sun exposure. Regular exercise was also crucial to maintaining his lean physique. After acquiring his 17th-century house in the divorce settlement with Doris Duke, he converted the top floor into a boxing ring and bar, integrating boxing into his fitness regimen. Through his relationship with Odile Rodin, Rubirosa experienced a love story unlike any before, where his desire for control met its match. Their union was marked by passion, style, and a constant struggle for dominance, creating a captivating chapter in Rubirosa's life. The fall of a multilingual diplomat, Rubirosa's downfall. Rubirosa's linguistic prowess opened doors to various diplomatic positions, allowing him access to influential political circles. Fluent in 5 languages, he served at Dominican embassies in France, Germany, Argentina, Italy, Cuba, and Belgium. His connections provided him with remarkable opportunities, witnessing the Cuban Revolution firsthand as ambassador to Cuba, where he even engaged in conversations with Fidel Castro. Rubirosa's linguistic skills even granted him an audience with the US president. In 1961, the Trujillo era, marked by a 31-year reign of terror, came to an end with the assassination of the dictator. Following Trujillo's death, Rubirosa continued to work for his son and successor, Ramfis, who proved to be equally unstable. Ramfis' reckless actions, such as attempting to orchestrate the removal of the Venezuelan president, led the US to impose an embargo on the Dominican Republic. Rubirosa hoped that his charm could sway the US president's support for Ramfis's new regime. Sailing on a yacht with John F. Kennedy, Rubirosa sought to secure the US's backing. However, Rubirosa and Ramfis were not aligned in their intentions. While Rubirosa put in effort to persuade the US, Ramfis chose a different path, absconding with $200,000 from the treasury and fleeing the country. As a result, the new Dominican president dismissed Rubirosa, severing his once comfortable safety net and thrusting him into financial uncertainty. His future appeared bleak and unpredictable. With the loss of his job, Rubirosa also lost his diplomatic immunity. This absence of protection made him susceptible to investigation by the New York District Attorney regarding his suspected involvement in the disappearances and alleged murders of Trujillo's opponents. Although he was never charged, the damage to Rubirosa's career was irreparable, officially signaling the end of his influential reign. Rubirosa found himself trapped in a downward spiral, facing the consequences of his past actions. Unsuited for an ordinary existence, Rubirosa sank into a profound depression. His friends had moved on, pursuing careers and leaving him behind, while the weight of financial worries burdened him relentlessly. Mildred Ricart, the wife of one of his acquaintances, observed that living without money was torture for Rubirosa. The stark contrast between his previous life of indulgence and the harsh reality he now faced tormented him. Little did he know that this despair would not persist for long. In 1965, Rubirosa experienced a fleeting moment of triumph when his polo team emerged victorious in the Coupe de France polo tournament. However, this brief euphoria swiftly gave way to tragedy. Following a night of exuberant celebration, Rubirosa, aged only 56, crashed his Ferrari into a tree. The impact proved fatal. Cassini, his friend, questioned whether the crash was a result of intoxication or despair. Regardless, it was a sorrowful and ironic end for a man who had spent a significant portion of his life in the fast lane, pursuing pleasure and extravagance. And so we come to the end of our journey, as we bid farewell to the legendary Porfirio Rubirosa. His death marked the closing chapter of an era, for he was the last and perhaps the greatest of the jet-set playboys. Yet, his legacy continues to reverberate through the corridors of time. From the outset, you can draw parallels between Rubirosa and the iconic James Bond, and it is no wonder that many believe he was the real-life inspiration for 007. While Ian Fleming never explicitly acknowledged Rubirosa as his muse, their paths likely crossed in the realms of high society. Shared acquaintances such as Errol Flynn and Noel Coward, who resided near Fleming in Jamaica, suggest a connection that adds to the mystique of Rubirosa's life. While we may never know for certain if Rubirosa was the inspiration behind James Bond, his impact is felt in another unexpected way. Parisian waiters, in a nod to Rubirosa's well-known endowment, humorously referred to large peppermills as Rubirosas. This playful moniker has since spread across the globe, finding its place in restaurants to this day. As we bring this journey to a close, I want to express my gratitude to you for accompanying me on this enthralling exploration of Porfirio Rubirosa's life. If you enjoyed this video and found Rubirosa's life as captivating as I did, I invite you to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more intriguing stories and historical adventures. Your support allows us to continue bringing you tales that ignite curiosity and spark the imagination. Thank you for watching, and until our paths cross again, may your own lives be filled with excitement, romance, and a touch of the Rubirosa mystique.